business confidential kind of information and what's not.
I need to pass this class.
A little further down the warehouse here, we have all our receiving that comes in as far as freight trucks being delivered. And then we'll load out on our loading docks here for deliveries going out to our system. Once again, we have 35 district offices that we're servicing, as well as whatever construction projects that might be going on. So we call those BM jobs, bill of materials.
And are those Dominion projects, or could they
Yes.
be projects for others, or is it just strictly Dominion construction
Because
projects?
the warehouse is company code 1000, okay, it's part of the Dominion Virginia Power regulated business. We're not allowed to work and subsidize for-profit work outside of our territory. So the answer to that is no. We wouldn't be putting together things that were going off of our system.
So how do you get the orders in for what somebody would need?
Well, there's a group downtown that works. Basically, they are inventory management.
Is that
Okay.
Gerard's group?
Gerard's group.
I meet
That's
with
correct.
him on Monday.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, Gerard, and he has a supervisor, mate, I'll call it, Steve Parker. And within Steve's group, they basically determine what the inventory stocking is and so forth. They get the receipts from the field as to what the field is looking for, needs, wants, special orders, you name it. They put it on order, it comes in, we receipt for it, and stage it, inventory it, ship it out whenever it's needed for the given project.
Now, is there any difference, and I'm not sure if it's done out of this warehouse, but I would imagine it would be, say back in '05 when Isabel hit, and it was so much, widespread damage.
Sure.
Did you guys kind of anticipate that and kind of have stuff stocked up for that?
We have
And-
storm plans and stuff.
Okay.
Matter of fact, seeing it. How many were there this year? 72 storms that we tracked coming off the coast of Africa throughout the course of the storm season. Right now, it's pretty much wound down. We're only going to report once a week and stuff right now, 2 or 3 days. But they're tracking every single one that comes across. They're giving us updates, so we can start putting in motion our storm plan if necessary, contacting our vendors, putting our suppliers on alert. Hey, this is heading, it looks like it might be hitting our area. We're going to be needing this kind of stuff and so forth. Now, the challenge that some of those folks will have, now they're pretty good at responding, but they don't want to ship it out ahead of the storm.
They want to
Because
really
Mother
make
Nature
sure
is
it
so
hits kind of
fickle, you
thing.
never know where it's going to hit. And they're going to supply all of North America, these vendors.
Right.
So depending on where it hits, if they ship all the materials to us and we order them just before the storm hits and all of a sudden it takes a turn and next thing you know it's in New England, we got all the material here, they don't have
need
any
it
to
up
supply
there,
up there.
right.
So most of the time they have, some of the suppliers have hangars full of material, inventoried and so forth, just for
Ready to
storm
ship.
emergency. Yep, ready to
Ready to
ship. And they got
And
the
how
plane
long it
fueled
will
up.
take generally to ship it after the storm?
Most everything that we get, we can get it in 24 hours.
24 hours.
Yeah, most everything we can get is in 24 hours. And what we try and keep ourselves is enough to keep us going for 3 days. That's our kind of storm emergency inventory level. So we got enough to get our own crews out and working for 3 days, as well as a reasonable amount. Now, Isabel was not reasonable, but a reasonable
Right.
amount of contractors even. So we can supply them plus our own crews for about 3 days until we hit the wall and we're needing relief from our suppliers as far as materials.
So like 2 or 3 weeks ago when, some of the areas had the tornadoes, you guys had enough stock on hand to be able to, deal with those kind of things that just happened that day, or,
That's correct.
there's no notification that something might happen for it.
I mean, we got geared up. About the only one, there was one named storm earlier in the year, and it turned out to be somewhat of a non-event.
Is that the one that was
Eric
hitting
or
near?
Aaron or Earl.
Is that the one that hit near Nags Head, Kitty Hawk
Yeah.
area?
But it didn't hit with the intensity.
It's North Carolina, Treaties,
Yeah.
North Carolina.
It didn't hit with the intensity that was initially anticipated. But we were for sure geared up for that and ready to launch things. I mean, we bring in and process contractors, mutual aid. Mutual aid, the difference between them and contractors, mutual aid means other utilities, such as Dominion, that will call in to help us restore
Yeah, I
service.
remember when Isabel hit in my area where I live at, we had Alabama Power and Light
Okay.
is who came in and was actually fixing the lines during that.
So we'll bring them in. A lot of times we'll bring those through like Charles City, which is out near the airport and so forth, another facility that we have and use. And that is pretty much a processing center for bringing contractors on to our system that haven't normally worked here. They get generally we check them in and so forth to ensure, okay, you said you were bringing 10, well, one got sick, so we only brought 9. So, okay, 9. And how many trucks, how many bucket trucks, how many auger trucks, whatever you bring in. So they'll check them in so that they can, then pay them properly compared to what they brought.
Right. So would it be Dominion's responsibility to pay their lodging, pay their meals? Is that something that
We
Dominion
generally
pays
do that
for them?
with regards
or?
to mutual aid,
Right.
because that's how we would want to be treated
Right,
going somewhere.
exactly.
But we generally don't when it comes to contractors.
Right. Just the mutual aid kind of
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah, they're treated a little differently.
Mm-hmm.
But that's norm. You can't always say never and always and all that kind of
Right.
stuff. But that's typical. Is mutual aid's treated a little nicer, a little finer. Because again, we would expect the same going somewhere else, like Louisiana and New Orleans and stuff. When we went down there to help them with Katrina and stuff like that. I mean, we've been as far north as into Canada with mutual aid ourselves going there, and as far south that I know of, down into Florida and Louisiana. And I have a transportation group also. We managed the transport of all those vehicles by way. I mean, to put a bucket truck that, it'll probably do 65, but it won't do 65 for 8-10 hour days, and takes 3 to get to Louisiana. So we put them on the back of lowboys and shipped them. And matter of fact, we fired up all the corporate planes and stuff and flew the linemen down there.
Oh wow.
So it was great coordination, a lot of work, but everybody was much more rested and happy when they got there.
Right.
Instead of a 3-day ride going
Exactly.
in a big convoy going down the interstates.
Right.
So you have different kind of rack systems. These would be more like a drive-in rack where you can put a lot of the same kind of materials, 3 different levels. But you have to obviously have a forklift that is narrow enough to go in. That type of cable there, hey Kelly, is called control cable. The concrete building or control house at a substation where all the instrumentation goes back to system operations center, and then it leaves that control house through ductwork, goes out to the individual pieces of equipment sitting in the substation yard.
Okay.
So that's what a control cable would actually do. You have SF6 gas bottles and stuff. A lot of our equipment has SF6 gas in it. That's the insulating medium inside it. Again, there's rubber goods getting ready to go out to Kitty Hawk. Various jobs. We use this NW number you see underneath the words here for the Brambleton Pleasant View. That NW is a network number within our SAP system, and that's how they code for that specific job. And then, of course, everything's got a stock number. These are insulator strings. I would guess with the quantity, what is that, about 7? 6. So that's probably like a 115 kV string, insulator string. Send it out by courier. Use this as a shrink wrap machine. Basically, it wraps everything to make it ready for shipment.